Monday night in the National Football League. We'll see Seattle battling Washington as the Seahawks look to defeat the football team for the second straight season. We'll close out Week 12 next on EA Sports.
The sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they interplay here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And for the first time, we get a look at the veteran Russell Wilson as he gets set to lead yet again this Seattle Seahawks offense.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was.
On first down, Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Throwing again on second down. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Deron Payne in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center of the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense about ready to go to work. And at quarterback in his 17th season now in the NFL, piloting his 9th different franchise, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team. Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run, and I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Fitzpatrick to throw it. so they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. And this a quick slant to Lockett. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. Well, what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another 1st down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Wilson. He hits his target, Lockett. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson, and he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week: 18 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
They get it to Eskridge here on the jet sweep. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Pete Carroll looks like he likes his chances with the offense on the field. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Danny Johnson returning. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
On 2nd and very short, Fitzpatrick looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. The numbers from McLaurin a week ago. 4 catches, 103 in the yardage department.
When you turn in good, consistent performances each and every week, you will rank in the top 10 in the league in receiving yards, and he's number 7 currently, hoping to move up as time goes on.
First down, Fitzpatrick. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Fitzpatrick. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And Sims lost it. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
36 power.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
And the Washington offense going back to work.
And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Touchdown! Curtis Samuel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And Washington has retaken the lead. Well, not many folks would jump straight to Ryan Fitzpatrick when you talk about strong-arm quarterbacks, but if he's lasted this long, and he has, he's got to be doing something right.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let him a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded right around the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And just a yard to go here on second down.
There's Wilson to throw.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Wilson. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
Fitzpatrick and the rest of the Washington offense back out onto the field.
He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Throwing Fitzpatrick.
That's out to the flat for Gibson.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
And
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Carlos Dunlap. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick going to give to Gibson. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's Samuel, caught left side. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. He'll pick up 7 there on the 1st down keeper. Now it's Carson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It could pop big. In this case, it didn't.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Johnson on the return. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the second time. .39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Second and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, a strip, the ball comes out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Chase Young in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. On third down, Carson. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return, Johnson. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick and the rest of the Washington offense back out onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline.
A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Fitzpatrick. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Fitzpatrick on 1st down. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Washington football team on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half, and they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half, and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for Washington, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Returning it, Johnson. But a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here is Washington now to take over. They were losers last week to Carolina, but they've got the lead here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Second half starts with a run by Gibson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Wilson following the fumble recovery. He'll throw. And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it. And it'll be second down.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
So Wilson heads to the sideline, and on comes Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Myers able to knock it through. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Now here's Johnson. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, trying to atone for it here on this drive. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll go again with Gibson. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawk defense. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Fitzpatrick now. And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. Now it's Lockett. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing is Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson.
Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Now it's Wilson.
That's to the tight end, Colby Parkinson.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This is Carson. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Carson. Muscles him off. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They run it with Carson, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Everett.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 25-yard line.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jonathan Allen, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, and he'll find Everett there, complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. He'll find Metcalf. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So 4th down, Wilson goes to the sidelines, and on comes Jason Myers for the field goal try. He hit his first, this one from 38. Myers' kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now the Washington offense heading out.
Well, they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
1 yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 25-yard line.
Here's Fitzpatrick.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Fitzpatrick. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And out now come the Seahawks. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here on the 4th. You normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
And you'd think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Fitzpatrick and the rest of the Washington offense back out onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw is Fitzpatrick. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Alton Robinson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over.
Out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Fitzpatrick giving to Gibson on the draw. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sims. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. He gives it off to Carson. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. And this will go to Carson out wide. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the 1st.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Little short pass. This is Everett. 7 yards the pickup there.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He hits his target, Lockett. He will go out right near the 35-yard line.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson.
He'll spot Eskridge open left side.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
On 1st down, Carson. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle.
And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here we go.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. 2nd and goal from the 1.
It's Wilson on the option.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Important extra point up and through, and they will take a 7-point lead.
Washington 20.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. So here's Fitzpatrick and the Washington offense. Down 27-20, a minute 38 to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on 1st down. Fitzpatrick to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to let it fly. And unable connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Desperation time. Fitzpatrick on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Hands it off out of the gun. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They run again with Carson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And they will take a knee here.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for the Seahawks, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.